1 2 mic check microphone.
Well, I'm really excited to have you on. I ask everybody the same question when they come on. Do you remember your first set?
My first set?
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. Are these all boob puns? Is that what's going on?
It is kind of a boob pun,
Okay,
actually.
all right.
But it is actually about comedy, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
they're all
You're the
boob
first
puns.
person to say that. But
Yeah. Nice. Well, thanks for having me. So, first of all, I didn't know that your husband was your producer or your boyfriend. Is it boyfriend or husband? I wouldn't have even fucking come. Had I known your boyfriend was going to answer the door, I would not even fucking be here. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Let me make this very clear. Me and Joe DeRosa are creeps. I don't do anybody's podcasts. I've been trying to avoid doing this podcast for months, but I'm here. No, I'm just fucking with you. So yeah. It's very easy to get creepy guys into your podcast. She's like, hey, come do my podcast at my house. It's like, okay, I'll be there. I stink. Do I remember my first set? Yeah, I do. It was like 22 years ago.
Wow.
And I was producing comedy shows in New York City. And I started off by promoting comedy clubs in New York City. I was a producer. I did music for years. I was in a band, and I've sort of always been me. I've been behind the scenes as much as I've been in front of the camera, quote unquote. But
Okay.
yeah, I was producing a music festival and music shows all the time in my teenage years. And then I found comedy when I was 19. I started promoting for the New York Comedy Club in Manhattan.
Okay.
And so I was always a class clown. I was like the funny kid. I was like, just making fucked up jokes, getting in trouble for it. And once I sort of got exposed to what comedy was, because you see comedy on TV, you don't know what it is. Like, you guys have a thriving scene here now, but like in the 2001 when I started this job, there was no like. I didn't even know what an open mic was. You didn't know like how to enter comedy. There was no. There was internet, but it was really early internet, MySpace years. So the idea of being a comedian was just so far fetched and weird. And I answered an ad in the Village Voice to start promoting for comedy clubs a few days before 9/11, and that's how I kind of got into it. And then I was just doing it for a while, and I was like, well, I'll produce my own shows, and that's how I met. Well, before I started doing comedy, I met Big J. Okerson and Kurt Metzger and Joe DeRosa specifically. I met DeRosa. Wow. Kurt Metzger. I met Kurt Metzger. He actually the first day I started promoting comedy clubs, Kurt Metzger also got the same job. We answered the same ad. We started on the same corner together. Whoa. He was terrible. He's always been Kurt, so he's like, do you want to go to a comedy show? And people are like, get the fuck away from me. So he quit after a day, and I became really good at promoting comedy clubs. Like it was like I was like the best at it. There was nobody as good as me, really.
Wow.
And then once a year or two later, I started producing my own shows. Kurt introduced me to Big J, Nate Bargatze, Mike Vecchione, Joe DeRosa. Like, these guys were all my friends before I ever stepped on stage.
Wow.
So I was putting all these guys up like super early. These guys, Big J was like 5 years in comedy. Nate was like, 2 or 3 years when I met him in comedy. And then I ended up, I kind of wanted to do it for a while, right? And secretly, I didn't want to admit it. And then one day I had like a host cancel on me last minute. It was for a show I was producing. I was like, well, I could host my own show.
Okay.
And then, I went up. It was at a place called Dylan's Lounge. It's like a little weird independent room that I started before everyone was doing independent rooms. This was like at a time when, by the way, I can talk.
Just I love it.
Know.
Yeah. That's great.
I'm a professional podcaster. This was at a time when like producing comedy shows was kind of frowned upon.
Okay.
Like, now everyone produces shows. Like, it's a part of sort of the ether and the comedy ecosystem. There's bar shows and all this other stuff, and there's great ones and there's bad ones. But back then, like, it was like nobody was really doing that. It was like, there was a few like independent rooms in New York, but for the most part, it was kind of frowned upon for comedians to do it specifically. And then, so I was producing the show, had a host cancel. Daryl Wright was the host name, I remember. And he canceled, and I was like, I'll do it. And then on a whim, like, all day I was just like thinking of old jokes and, just like trying to like imagine what a set would be. And I just went up and I just did just absolute horse shit. I did like crowd work and fucked with the crowd, and like, it went well enough, like I because I was also promoting the shows, like the people in the crowd knew me.
Okay.
So they were like, oh, that's the guy who like promoted to us earlier today. Like, we had street teams. We'd go out into Times Square and we would, essentially what barking is, but we were selling the tickets. So we weren't like, so I made the money by actually selling the tickets to the people on the street, whether they used them or not, it didn't matter. Right.
Yeah.
So that was my first set. I think I was having girls show their boobs for like drink tickets and just really just being just doing what you can't. You can't do the things I was doing then now. But yeah, it went well enough, and then I just kind of fell in love with it. And then for about a year, I was hosting shows, and then I started doing sets here and there, and then it just sort of turned into what it is now.
Wow, I love that. It makes sense. I feel like because you have such like a great stage presence. I've seen The Depraved.
Thanks.
That was actually the first show I saw the first week I started comedy at Creek.
Oh, really?
Like I was just doing open mics, and I was staying. I didn't want to drive home, so I just stayed. And
How did you get her? This is insane.
I met him after I met you. Or
this
after I
guy,
watched you.
no offense, you're a nice enough guy. You're handsome enough. She's so hot. You're such a normal dude. This is insane.
Well,
put a baby in her, dude. What are you gonna do? You're gonna drop the ball here.
All right. Well, you're actually part of the equation.
I'm part of the equation.
Yeah. Like, we weren't together, so you want to keep going with the
Sorry. You tell the story. I apologize.
Okay, no, you're fine. So yeah, I watched.
Guys, you don't understand. He's the most average-looking dude I've ever met in my entire life. He should be he should look like The Rock, and it's just some fucking dude who has podcast equipment. Are you retarded? Why would you be with him? This is insane. Why can't I get a chick this hot? I'm gonna kill myself. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. So I just started comedy. Like it's funny when you said like you don't know how to start. Usually, like if you want to do it, I didn't know how to start either. But my therapist like told me to go to Creek in the Cave for an open mic, so
That's
I did
fun.
that. And then I stayed for Banana Phone. Your show was on a Sunday, and I just stayed because I didn't want to leave my parking spot and have to walk by myself.
Yeah.
So I watched your set, and then I waited for Banana Phone. I met him at Banana Phone.
Oh, you met. So you're a stand-up.
Yep.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's
dude.
very funny. He heckled me.
She walked out of your show. I was just there for the show after. I didn't have tickets to The Depraved.
Yeah.
And it's funny because she came out, and this is the first time I've ever seen her. I was in back at Creek in the Cave, and I was like, oh, this is probably like Lewis's girlfriend.
Nice.
But then I just started talking to her, and you're going to think this is even crazy. I don't even know. We might have to cut this part, but
What?
Yeah.
That's wild.
We were
you
friends
dog.
for a while.
Oh my God. Can I just smell your dick? That's all I want for payment here today. Is if you just let me smell your dick, dude. Sorry.
No, it's so funny. Yeah. I don't know. And then one time we did see you again later. We like your comedy a lot. You have so many things you produce, which makes sense that you started out promoting and stuff because you're so good at it. You have like Legion of Skanks, Story Warz, and then you also run Skankfest with Rebecca.
Skankfest. I got a podcast network, a tour management company. I started a coffee brand. We're buying a comedy club in New York City right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a lot going on.
That's cool.
I like the business side of things as much as I like the creative side of things.
Okay.
You know, it is creative. Being an entrepreneur and running business, it's creative. It scratches the same itch as writing a new joke or producing a TV show. Like you're creating something, you get to build a brand around it. You get to have people enjoy it in whatever way it is. So I've always been this guy. I've worked every day since I was 11. I was the kid who was shoveling people's driveways for money in the winter and running an iced tea stand or telling people to do, see if they need odd jobs around their house. I've literally just been this guy for as long as I can remember. So,
wow.
I'm definitely a producer, and I don't know. I think there's a lot of I like the freedom of working for myself. I did all the shit I've been doing comedy 22 years. So, I did New Faces just for laughs, right? I did Last Comic Standing. I did I went through the whole, I never got on late night, but I went through the process of, sending in sets and having it edited and almost getting late night and then giving notes. And, I was very close to getting Conan. But I did all the things you were supposed to do, like as a young comic coming up, which you guys don't have to do now because, the industry, we've sort of taken the industry, into our own hands. But before that became sort of more of the norm, I never got any real success until I was doing things for myself and being my own boss. And that's just kind of I just had a lot more success. It's not even I probably would have been lazier had it just come easier, but it just never came easy. Everything that I did, it was just by the skin of my teeth. And as soon as I started doing things for myself, that's when I started getting fans, and
Yeah.
that's it.
I love that. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of how I'm trying to do it too, like just doing things myself, and then it does open up like other opportunities, it seems.
Yeah.
So I just like started out with the podcast, and then I have like a live show. If you're ever here on the third Friday of the month, I'd love to have
for
you
sure.
on it.
For sure, I'll do it. As long as you leave your fucking boyfriend at home. It's insane, dude. It's making me furious, dude.
We're gonna keep going with like our involvement with Lewis, like because.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then something else funny happens.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember this, but it was at another Depraved show. We were just like in the crowd.
Fast forward a couple months, we were already dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your show together.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were just like.
Just to dangle it in front of me, you pieces of shit. To mock me at my own show. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
You noticed me in the crowd, and then you asked, "Oh no! Sorry.
Oh no.
This happens every time."
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's like a bit.
Yeah. Well, we tried to make it sturdy for you today, but
Nice.
we didn't. We failed. But
Piss you off.
No, I'm not. I'm way more chill than I come off on the internet.
Anyway, you like saw me in the audience, and you were like, "You're hot," and then you're like, "How did you get her?"
Oh, I went through this already. We went through this. Now we're
Deja vu.
now I'm fucking having flashbacks.
He was like, "I'm a comedian," or you were like, "What do you do for work?" And he was like, "I'm a comedian." And
Oh,
you,
I'm literally. It's coming back to me. I swear to God, it is.
for
Yeah.
1 minute, you had him do like a Kill Tony.
Oh
1 minute.
yes,
And then you were
dude, and you did
pretending
well.
to be Tony?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, you were funny. I remember this completely.
It was
That's
funny.
hilarious.
You pulled me up and you're like, "Ladies and gentlemen, one uninterrupted minute."
This guy is unbelievable.
But it went really well. But I had already had like a Kill Tony minute for real because I'm signing up every
Yeah,
Monday.
of course.
And then Tony is on that show.
Nice.
So I went out back to say thank you for letting me do that. And you're standing with Tony, and you were like, "Hey Tony, this is getting pretty good. His girlfriend's hot as fuck. She's so hot." and like Tony like didn't look up from his phone.
That's
He's like-
hilarious.
he's like, "That's cool." But then I got pulled on Kill Tony the next week.
He's like, girlfriend, I'm not interested in this guy anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So yeah, that was a good 2 weeks for me. You pulled me up on that show. I did a
Sick,
fake
dude.
Kill Tony minute, and then I got on Kill Tony.
Love it, dude.
Yeah, it was
Perfect,
awesome.
dude. No, yeah, you rose to the occasion. That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. I just remember this This doesn't happen very often. I remember you being funny. Hell yeah, dude. Good for you. So that's how you got her. You're funny. That's
Yeah.
what it is. God damn it.
Yeah.
I gotta get funnier. Anyway.
Well, do you know what Banana Phone is?
Yeah, I know what Banana Phone is.
Yeah, so she went up on Banana Phone. Like, I had known her for 30 seconds, and I was just yelling shit at her.
Yeah.
And that was
Show your fucking tits. Show them right now.
Well, no, it was like everybody like was doing nice heckles.
Oh, right.
So
of
it was
course.
like, hey,
It's so nice being a hot chick.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's being nice to her.
I was like, "Hey, Kate, you're pretty fucking hot."
Oh, yeah. Nice. Sick.
That
It was
what got
also
her.
a nice heckle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone started auctioning her at one point.
Nice.
That was funny, yeah.
Yeah.
I like Banana Phone, but I wasn't ready because I had only been doing comedy a week, so I
Yeah.
didn't have anything.
Of
And I'm
course.
still not good at Banana Phone, but I do like it, and I hope that one day I'll be better off the cuff.
Yeah. It's that's a crazy show. That show's wild. I go and I'm intimidated at that show. Like I go in I've never yelled anything out. I sit in the back. I'm like, I'm gonna bomb in front of a room of my peers. I'm gonna yell something out, and everyone's gonna be like, "Fuck you, you fucking hack."
It is harder, like bombing from the audience.
Yeah,
feels
that's crazy.
worse.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
terrible.
why.
Well, you know what it is, because I know the other side of it. Because when people try to heckle, 99% of the time they bomb from the audience. So that almost
Yeah.
feels there's no like you have the comfort of being on stage. You have the microphone. You're louder than everybody. You
True.
can just shut people down. There's like a rhythm to it as well. Like with dealing with hecklers, like you don't even have to really say anything funny. You kind of like let them kill themselves, and you point out the fact that they're not funny. It's a very easy way to like dealing with hecklers has gotten like, but being the heckler, it's like I only know the perspective of, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Like so it's like I kind of like turn into myself, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to yell something out. That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
'cause it, like,
it's
feels
an interesting
wrong.
show. Yeah,
I get
really
that.
interesting show.
It's also crazy
Yeah.
to bomb from the audience, and then you're just sitting with everybody still. Like you
And then
just
you get
bombed,
booed.
but then everyone just is like,
Do they record that show as a podcast, or it's just live?
They do record it now. They started.
Yeah,
I
they
think-
should. It would be a great podcast.
It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy though. They have it like on some like paywall thing because they can't just put it on YouTube.
No, they're gonna put it on YouTube because that thing they were doing wasn't working.
Oh, okay.
So I think they're considering YouTube.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'll
they
try to
put
get them for Gas Digital.
Yeah, you should.
I really would. That's really. So I think
cool.
the live comedy show format is the future of podcasting.
I agree.
So we've been in Legion of Skanks for a long time, over a decade in front of a live audience. We were in a studio before that, but
Nice.
then we had Story Warz and obviously Kill Tony. We're launching a show with Kim Congdon called the Comedy Dating Show, which you
Nice.
should be on that show. You should be the person they offer up. I'll get you on it for
Okay.
sure. Yeah,
it'd
yeah.
be fun. I like Kim.
He's like, what? You have to compete for your own girlfriend.
Every week, I'm like king of the hill. I have to just defend my my right to have my girlfriend.
Who has been the creepiest guy with your girlfriend besides me?
It's probably immediately you.
But I'm only creepy in front of the camera.
Yeah,
It's
no.
so funny.
I know, yeah.
I really lean into it when I'm on camera, but then when I'm off camera, I'm like, okay, thanks, Kate, appreciate it.
No, yeah, you're not. You don't have a bad vibe though.
No.
Like
I
you're
know.
funny when you do it.
Yeah. Well, I try to be anyway.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
I
not.
mean-
To me,
I
it's
guess
not
that
creepy.
would make it Joe DeRosa because he was just like that the whole time.
Oh, really?
He was just cool.
Yeah.
So, which is
No,
creepy.
DeRosa had some ulterior motives. I got to be honest with you.
He was like our 4th episode.
Yeah, of course. You should not be getting Joe DeRosa on this
No,
podcast.
he's awesome. Also, he almost cried on the podcast.
What a fag.
Talking about when he talked to George Carlin on the phone.
Oh, what a
But
pussy.
Phil
Oh,
messed it up.
I
and
also
he didn't
wasn't recording.
no.
hit record
The whole podcast?
half of it. So
Oh,
like
my God.
all like the crazy stuff he didn't get.
All the fun stuff was done.
yeah.
It was like such a good podcast. Like for real, like I was joking about him almost crying, but like it was like they were really like vibing. Like he got emotional at one point, and I look at my fucking computer.
That's wild. Did you say it in the middle of it?
No,
Or just waited after? Oh, no.
he told me
like-
after. I
it
was
was
like,
like we
oh
got
my
like 30 minutes.
That's so funny. Yeah, no. I mean, dude, I've been I was the guy who produced our podcast when we first started. So there's like
Yeah.
3 or 4 podcasts just completely gone. Like
God. Oh my god.
there was the time of the old it was the H1 before like people were getting the H4. Like remember what they called the what is the brand I'm thinking of? It's an MP3 recorder. Yeah, it's like that, but it's. Yeah, but it's like there was the H6 and then the H8 came out. I forget what the brand is. Regardless, it doesn't matter. No, but it was the H1. It was the original old school little one. It had 2 like multi-directional mics. I mean, you had to use like an aux cable and you had to plug in like an adapter. And I remember I didn't have batteries in it. I had it plugged into the wall. And if it lost its power source, you lost the file altogether. So the amount of times my big dumb feet kicked it out. Literally lost entire podcasts. Like,
no.
yeah. So I know the pain, but that's hilarious.
How long have you been podcasting for?
I was pretty early.
Yeah.
I was very, very early. I've been podcasting probably 16 years, 17
Wow.
years. Like,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I did my first podcast was called the Hammer Fisting Podcast. It was an MMA podcast.
Wow.
When MMA was like pretty niche at that point. And then I was doing Robert Kelly's podcast. Robert Kelly, like, he was like the first person to podcast. He was like before Rogan, before everyone. He had a podcast with Colin Quinn called the Robert Kelly and sometimes Colin Quinn Show because Colin Quinn would only show up half the time.
Okay.
But he was like kind of my mentor in comedy, Bobby Kelly, and he saw that I wanted to podcast, and he gave me all this. He gave me a big bag of like old shitty podcast equipment, and
Okay.
with a mixer and headphones and microphones, and he was like, you gotta want it, dude. You gotta do it yourself.
Yeah.
He's like, don't make it easy on these people. Once it's easy, everyone's gonna flood the market. And he was right. It was like so he was one of the first people to start a podcast network. I was on his network for a while, and we started Legion of Skanks after that, and then I just started. Anytime I do something, if I walk into a restaurant, I immediately go, how can I make this restaurant better?
Okay,
Right. And that's
yeah.
just the way my mind always works. So I started my own podcast network and
How did you think about going live with Legion of Skanks? You said you started it not live. It wasn't live at first.
So yeah, it was we kind of happened upon it, right? And have you ever seen Legion of Skanks? Have you seen it in New York City?
I haven't been physically to it, but we've seen it like online.
Yeah, of course. So
Yeah.
people don't know this, like Legion of Skanks, we sit with our backs to the audience.
Yeah.
And our faces we're sitting in front of a screen, a big like projector screen. So the audience, and we're facing each other and talking to each other, right? And the audience sees us talking to each other on the screen, and they're all behind us. So you see the audience behind us, which is a very unique setup. And some people are like, why are you sitting with the audience behind you? But it was because naturally that's how we did things. We were at the Creek and Cave in New York, in Queens, on Rebecca's network, Cave Comedy Radio. And we were in the studio in the back. And they had a studio, and in that studio, they had like couches and beanbag chairs for like people to like hang out in the background. And we just started inviting people into the studio to watch us do the show. So there'd be like 10 people, 15 people just sort of sitting around us. And we were just always talking to each other. There was no screen. We were just doing the podcast. We weren't projecting our voices. We were just doing but people would just like hang out in the back and smoke weed and drink and watch us do the podcast. So that was kind of our thing with the people who were around us. And we were never playing to the audience. So live podcasts, very often you're playing to the audience too much. But we talk to each other and we're trying to make each other laugh. And it's making comedians laugh is way harder than making audience members laugh. So that we kind of held on to that format, right? It was sort of a throwback to us doing the Creek and Cave's old studio. And we were like, well, let's just set it up to where we're still connecting with each other. We're still talking to each other, as opposed to just, because you start doing crowd work, it starts being a little bit too much about the audience when you are facing the audience. So, that was kind of, we just kind of happened into it. And then, we were like one of the only live podcasts. We were definitely before Kill Tony, but then they were like the second live podcast, I think. And then, they blew up, but,
that makes sense. Yeah, there's not like a ton of them.
No, but I think that's the future. Yeah. We're doing Kim's show next, and I think that not the future, but I think it gives an energy.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking to my production team, because we have like 17 or 18 podcasts on my network, I was like, think of like live show formats. What could work for a live show? Because number one, immediately you can monetize. You sell tickets. You can make some cash off your podcast immediately, as opposed to waiting until you get 50,000 or 100,000 downloads an episode. Yeah. That's kind of the breaking point where you can start making real money with the podcast off of advertising. But you can immediately, if you're selling tickets, even like 10, 15 bucks a ticket, which is cheap for a comedy show now. Well, now look, you put 100 people in a room, you're making a little bit of cash in your podcast every week. It makes it easier to sort of get good equipment, bring guests on, pay guests.
Yeah.
It's a different sort of ecosystem.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I am really smart. You're right, Kate.
You are very smart. And I think it's cool. You've known Rebecca for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, whatever, dude. Whatever. She's got big tits too. Whatever.
Yeah, she does. I love her tits.
I've known Rebecca. I met her through Nate Bargatze. We hated each other at first. Nate Bargatze is my son's godfather. We were like best friends for a while. We're still very close, but he's he can't associate with me publicly. And
just watched his Story Warz.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
What did he do that was like a stepping outside his comfort zone on that? I can't remember what it was, but he like did something bad for him.
I don't remember, but yeah, Nate used to be a bad boy. People don't know this. Nate used to get drunk and say really out of pocket shit.
Really?
He had like a drinking problem. He was like, we used to call him Red State Nate because this is before there was like openly like right wing people. Okay. Like he'd get a few drinks in him and he's like, I think George Bush is great, man. That's how early it was.
Oh my God.
So we call him Red State Nate when he would get drunk, and no, he's such a good person. Like I remember I got into a thing with a roommate, and I had like literally I threatened the guy, and we called the cops, and I wasn't allowed to go back to the apartment. So Nate Bargatze and my son's mother moved my entire apartment while I sat outside smoking blunts, watching them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I couldn't go in. It's so funny. But yeah, me and Nate are old friends. He's my son's godfather. He's really, really good dude. But we were hanging out in the East Village. There was a show it was at a place called Cabin, but they called the show Cabin. This was like that, once again, like people weren't really producing shows. Like Rebecca was like producing, she had the Creek, and then she produced a show in the East Village, which was like the hot show for indie shows in New York. And this is, 15 years ago at least, maybe even more. I was hammered. I just stopped smoking weed. I constantly get myself like sober, and then I go back and fucking, really? It's a constant thing. But I had stopped smoking weed, and I got really drunk, like to the point like I was like hammered. And Rebecca is a walking drunk as well, so she was a little tipsy, and whatever it was just two alpha fucking dogs. We just did not. Whatever was the vibe. Nate's like, "This is my friend Lewis," and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" When I made some dumb fucking thing, and she's like, "Who is this?" And she goes, "Who are you?" Like that, and I was like, "Who the fuck are you, bitch?" And Nate, he was like, whoa, guys, all right. And then that was our first meeting, and I was like, yo, fuck that, but who is she? He's like, that's Rebecca who owns the Creek. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. Who the fuck does she think she is? She's not a comic. We're comics. We're the fucking important ones. And then we didn't like each other it was just, I just knew her peripherally. Like, it wasn't like, nothing even beyond that happened. And I don't even know how we became friends. I don't remember what it was. Like, we just, it snapped together. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and, I love Rebecca. Rebecca's like, a really, really close friend, a partner on Skankfest.
Yeah.
And, we're opening a comedy club together. She's one of the partners in the comedy club we're opening in New York City.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully, I mean, it's not officially closed, but we're buying Dangerfields, or it's called Rodney's now. But all parties have agreed to everything, but the Jews got to just keep on getting fucking in the way. You know what I'm saying? These Jews, they never let a deal get done. They really just want to keep on adding more and more fucking red tape. But yeah, we became partners on Skankfest. We were doing Skanks obviously there, and we also run a tour management company together and production company, and she's helping produce these Gas Digital half hours right now. And
Whoa.
yeah, we were very deeply in business together, but also just a close friend. I love her. She's a really good person.
Yeah.
Loves comedy. People don't understand. She's like the godmother of the New York comedy scene.
Yeah.
People, I think, before Rogan came here, she was here. She had the vision for Austin. She is, she's a lunatic, but she's genuinely brilliant when it comes to visualizing how to create sort of, things like this.
Yeah.
And so Rebecca's she would, all the comics that everyone knows and loves, like the Mark Normans and the Tim Dillons and the the Joe Lists and but even like what's Childish Gambino, what's Donald Glover, all these guys that were like sleeping on her couch. Like, she would do Creek and Cave Thanksgiving because comics couldn't go home because everyone moved to New York, so nobody could afford to fly home. So she'd have like 30 people at the Creek eating Thanksgiving dinner. She would cook. Like, she was the one who did it. Like, if the amount of people that like slept on her couch or she like lent money to or gave her car to, and like, she's just like that chick. She really believed in this in a big way. The Michael Che's, all these guys, every one of them went through the Creek. And then like the Legion of Skanks were there, and like we were like the bastard children of like the comedy scene, because comedy back then was like now it's like the new thing is like, everyone's like a fucking right winger and everyone's like, yeah, we wear cowboy hats and shoot guns. Like, that's what comedy's kind of become.
Yeah.
That's like popular now. But like we were like comedy when we were like coming up, especially like, pre-Trump leading into the first Trump era, it was very woke. And that's who was getting the opportunities from the industry. It's like you had to be like, a bleeding heart liberal, and you had to be sort of like, aligned that way politically. And that's who was getting all the opportunities from Comedy Central. And if you were a white guy in comedy, like a decade ago, bro, I would tell you get another path, dude. Like, there was being a white guy in comedy rules now. Like, it's never been better to be a white guy in comedy. But a decade ago, being a white guy in comedy was like, it was fucking really tough. It was like, yeah, like
I think it's pretty tough now.
It's pretty rough, dude. But yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah. But Rebecca, she created a lot of opportunities for people, and people should always support the Creek because. Yeah, it's a breeding ground. Like, we even like what we do with Gas Digital. It's like I like to get over new talent, like new guys and the guys that are coming up, like, because Tim Dillon and Shane, they were new guys coming up. Like, when they started coming on Legion of Skanks, they were like, Shane was a fan. Shane was in line at Skankfest to get a Legion of Skanks tattoo.
Wow.
And somebody was like, dude, don't do that. You're drunk. You're gonna regret this. He has no tattoos. He doesn't have a single tattoo. His one and only tattoo would have been a Legion of Skanks tattoo. He was like just a big fan, and like, so he started coming on. Soder was the one who told us about, Dan Soder told us about Shane. He's like, this guy's hilarious, from Philly. Nice. And a lot of these guys came on, very early, young fans. Like Tim Dillon, he'll tell you himself, like, I was the one who was like, Tim, you got to do a podcast, he was doing a podcast about spaghetti with Mike Racine. It was like a fucking cooking, like Italian cooking podcast. I was like, you're brilliant. I was like, you need a podcast with your name in it. I was like, it's just your name. It's just you. It's about your voice and your thing. And he did on my network, Tim Dillon is Going to Hell, for a few years, and that morphed into the Tim Dillon Show, and he blew up and started doing crazy things.
Wow.
But like, yeah, a lot of these guys, like, I like kind of getting off these no homo, I like getting off these like newer talent, and I like I'm proud to be a part of sort of that journey and that story. I'm not a fucking middleman. I'm not trying to make money off my friends.
Okay.
Like, I think, like, what I do, I make my money off of being an entertainer and doing the various businesses I do. I'm not like, but I like being a part of that story and being a part of that path. And now all these guys owe me favors, so they do free ad reads for my coffee.
Oh, I love that.
Could
So-
you imagine what it'd be worth if Shane had a Legion of Skanks tattoo?
Oh,
on
it
him
would be the
right
best. Oh, it would be the best. Oh, I would love it.
Advertisement.
It would make me so happy.
That's so
Now?
cool.
Huge. We got it way too big.
Yeah.
That's really funny. So when did you start Gas Digital? I know you have. That's this weekend, right? You
Yeah,
guys
we're
are
doing the
doing
half
a-
hours. We're taping half
Yeah,
hours at the
that's
Creek.
exciting.
Last night we did Sam Tripoli and Uncle Laser. It was great. Awesome. I started it, I want to say 2016, 2015.
Okay.
Around then, a little more than 10 years ago.
Dang.
We just celebrated our 10th anniversary. And this is before there was like a Patreon. So we did our platforms uncensored, ad-free. You subscribe. You get, like an on-demand library, thousands of episodes deep. All the words you're not supposed to say on YouTube can go on our platform. So
Yeah.
now more than ever, it's like back when we started it, it wasn't like there wasn't a Patreon. Patreon existed,
Okay.
but it was like, people were tipping like musicians, and it was like if you were like a guitar player, it was a way that you could connect with your audience, and they could pay for an extra song or whatever. And then it sort of podcasting took over Patreon, but we were very early. Like I just I was on a podcast network. I was on Stand Up New York Labs. They had their own like studio, and I was doing the Real Ass podcast on that, and I had like I want to say like 1,500 hits an episode, something like that. It was like pretty small, like just kind of getting started. It was like kind of spillover from Legion of Skanks. And we, at that time, Legion of Skanks maybe had 20,000 hits an episode. It wasn't a very big show, but it felt big, especially in New York. There wasn't many big podcasts. And I went to the network and I was like, how do I make money on the podcast? They were like, you have 1,500 hits an episode. Stop worrying about money, which technically they were kind of right? To a certain degree, like let it bake, have it grow, and then worry about monetizing it later on. Everyone just
Yeah.
wants to monetize and get out there and put stuff out there. And it's like, it's a 10-year plan minimum to start really making money in the industry, right?
Okay.
Unless you're like really fast tracked. But everyone you know and like, you spend the first 10 years developing your voice. The next 10 years you figure out the business. And then at about 20 years is when you start to really, quote unquote get rich or like make real money. You know, it's like that was, and everyone and respect in comedy, that was the path, right?
Nice.
A few people, will get fast tracked, and some people it happens earlier for, but for the most part, like, that's kind of the path for most real comics.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to make some money. And they're like, yeah, if you have 1,500 people listening to the show. And I was like, I understand that. I was like, but I'm like, I couldn't get past this. I was like, if I had 1,500 people showing up in like a parking lot every week, that would be like crazy. Like it's the biggest deal in the world. They would send in the National Guard to shut it down. They'd be like,
Yeah.
what the fuck's going on right now? Like, and I was like, those people are also the most like these people feel like they're in at the bottom level, and there's something about that, like they're really like, and they were really engaged. So they were like, no. I was like, well, what if we like have like I this was before Patreon. I was like, what if we had like a pay system? I was like, I'll give bonus content and we'll charge them a few bucks. They were like, it's too hard to build. They were like, it's just, and I was like, no, somebody can do this. So that's when I met my business partner, Ralph Sutton. Gas Digital stands for Gomez and Sutton. So
Oh, okay.
little known fact.
Nice.
And he was like a radio guy. Big J knew him from like hosting these like heavy metal cruises called Shiprocked.
Oh, okay.
And I got invited on one. And so we met and we connected. And he was, once again, kind of a hustler, had a business sense, had a little bit of cash, and just was like, yeah, he was into the idea. I was like, why don't we start this network? And it was us, the SDR show, High Society Radio, and Dave Smith's Part of the Problem were the first 4 shows. Legion of Skanks was on Anthony Cumia's network at the time, and we had a contract with them. And we started with just the 4 shows. And none of the shows had more than a couple thousand hits an episode.
Okay.
And we had the worst fucking website ever. It was always broken. It's just now gotten good after 10 years. We just crossed the threshold where I'm like, no, it's good now. And all the old fans are like, fuck you, your platform sucks. But it's really good, I promise. We put so much effort and energy, and it's the reason not many people build platforms like this. It's because it is wildly intricate. People don't understand the amount of work to build a platform like that. It's crazy. People expect the reactivity and sort of the technical proficiency of like YouTube and Rumble and like these are multi-billion-dollar companies.
Right.
The HBO Max app, it better be great. It's a fucking multi-billion-dollar company.
Right.
We're a mom and pop shop, so we're and we're not technical guys. We didn't like build the platform ourselves. We outsource it to a company that runs the platform. But yeah, it's just a lot of work, and it's very expensive to run a platform like that. So that's why really nobody does it, or very few people do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we sort of started off with, you know, a few hundred subscribers. We actually just did a thing where we just, the people that subscribed in the first month, we just gave them a free lifetime membership, because there's people that are still subscribed.
That.
So there's like a few hundred people that they just got an email like a couple months ago for our 10th year anniversary saying your lifetime membership for free from the first month. Yeah.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
It's really nice of you guys to do
yeah,
that.
we gotta, you know, everyone's trying to bang out the fans regularly, and I think, you know, look what we do. We have podcast advertising, and once again, I run all these businesses. I sell tickets to my comedy festival and my book and my fucking coffee and all this other stuff. So whenever you could find a way to, you know, just give back a little bit, it goes such a long way.
Yeah,
it really does. Like they really feel it. They're like,
and it feels good for you too.
It does, yeah. And it's the best marketing possible. Like people hear that and they go like, that's fucking really cool, and then they come and subscribe anyway. So it's really just me being greedy.
I like it though. No, it's cool.
Yeah.
This is kind of random, but where do you feel like you get your work ethic? Was your like maybe your parents, were they very?
Yeah, no, it was through contrast. My mom was a drug addict and very lazy and on welfare. And I remember being a kid just looking at my mom going like, you're on welfare. I was like, why do you think you get to like sit in your room and watch TV and the government should fucking pay your bills? I was an old Republican when I was like 7.
Wow.
I was like, get off my lawn. But no, like I never, like, I always was very embarrassed of my mom being on welfare and food stamps. And I just had this attitude of like, and then, you know, my mom stopped, like, she got cancer and she stopped working, and like I kind of had to fend for myself pretty young.
Yeah.
So I was working when I was very young, and I just always had like, you know, there was always like a hustle to like just make some cash. I hated being poor.
Yeah.
I was like, I grew up on welfare in Section 8, and like I was just very embarrassed about it and didn't feel, you know, even just, you know, I just bought my first house, and that was like, I had to like retrain my mind to even think. It was like it was very recently where I started like even thinking things like that were possible. Like in my mind, up until, you know, my mid 30s, it was like buying a house is something that rich people did, you know? Yeah. And so that's kind of like, I just kind of had to always work, you know? I remember early on, Bobby Kelly, he was like, dude, you're a real hustler. And I was like, thanks. He's like, it's not a compliment. It means you stink. He's like, talented people don't have to hustle. So, I've always had a kind of hustle, and I
admire that. I think that's
thanks,
really cool.
I appreciate it. So she admires that, dude. Just so you know.
And this is also. This is kind of random too, but I was told to ask, have you had any recent incidents?
Oh, nice. I haven't been incidenting out that much. So the reason that was you were asked that is because I chimp out sometimes. Chud the Builder did tell me I was chimping out on Twitter recently. Yeah. Because I was like, go do that in Compton or the Bronx, dude. He's like typical chimp response. And I was like, oh, you told me I chimped out. Like, I'm a fucking chimp.
Little does he know you're huge.
Yeah. No, he stinks. I hate Chud the Builder. He fucking sucks. He's the laziest fucking, you know, people equate like what Legion of Skanks does with Chud the Builder. I was like, no, we say the N-word. We're funny with it. We're nuanced, okay?
Yeah. There's an art to when we do it.
Yeah, dude, we're fucking artists, dude. We're not just fucking out there like doing the easiest like clickbait, rage bait shit. Like, yeah, I don't know. But when's the last time I had an incident? I mean, so we define an incident because we have a segment on Legion of Skanks now called "Is This an Incident?" based off of me having so many incidents, and what it is so I have a it's almost like a Larry David type thing. Okay. So like Larry David, if you ever watch what's it called, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yeah. Like something will happen, like he'll be wronged in a very slight way. Yeah. And he can't let it go. Yeah. He almost has like he's like, but no. Like, so it always starts off with that. Okay. Like I've been wronged in some little slight way, and then it snowballs. So however they react will trigger me reacting. And then it turns into like there's people filming me, and there's calling security, and I'm running through an airport. Like this has happened multiple times, but it was me and we just go down different paths once like I chimp out, Larry David doesn't chimp out. So
Yeah.
that's really what it is. But the way we define an incident is if somebody would pull out their cell phone and start recording.
Okay.
That's kind of like the baseline incident. Like, it's funny because Nate Bargatze has one of his jokes that really blew him up on late night. His first late night set, it was about me. He talked about going to McDonald's, and it's a true story. Dan Soder was there though, so a lot of people don't know because Nate just took Dan Soder out of the story. He was like, it's just a better joke this way. He doesn't need to. It's just because. Yeah, so Dan would get mad because he was there. It was actually Dan's idea, but we were at McDonald's and like late night or whatever, and I went to the bathroom, and Nate opened my cheeseburger and took a bite out of it and then rewrapped it up and he put it on the table. Oh, no. And then I came back and I opened it up. I was like, what? They took a bite out of my cheeseburger. Like. The joke is so funny because he's like, he doesn't look at me who, his best friend who he's sitting with, who happens to dabble in comedy. I immediately beeline toward the counter and I start yelling that they ate my cheeseburger. So it's a brilliant joke. He tells the story in such a funny way. Yeah. But that's like one of the original incidents that like in comedy. But like, so it's kind of like that. Like, I just feel wrong. I mean, me and Kim Congdon, we used to date. And I remember one time we were in the airport and she got into a thing with this black chick. Like, but Kim wanted to like, her suitcase was a couple of rows back because there wasn't room. So she was like, oh, can I get that? And the girl was like, no. And then Kim and this girl started like, Kim's a savage.
Yeah.
So Kim and this girl start going at it, right? So this, then it's my chick. So I'm like, I'm like, yo, fuck you, bitch. So the girl takes out her phone. Like we're on the hallway coming off the airplane.
Oh my God.
Whatever that's called. I grabbed the girl's phone. I just threw the girl's phone down the hallway. You just heard it break into pieces. Then security, the airline was like, we're calling security.
Yeah.
Me and Kim, we literally go through the airport. We break up. I was like, all right, take my jacket. You take your jacket. We change clothes.
Oh,
and then we literally were being chased by security through the airport, and we had to take separate Ubers home. I was like, I'll meet you at home. All right, babe. And so me and Kim.
So crazy.
Yeah. We're both incident prone. But I'm trying to think of the last incident that I had. It's I really don't have them. I've gotten a lot more chill, just like in general. It's not that I won't. I can get caught up with like road rage and things like that. Sometimes, like. But that's
really last time you were here, right?
Oh yeah, that was probably my last incident.
Outside the creek?
Thank you. See, there was a guy with an afro that I almost got into a fight that went viral.
Oh yeah.
That went viral, and it was a comedian who filmed it, which I got annoyed with him. I was like, dude, just fucking. I was like, you're a comic. First of all, if like somebody was fucking with a comic that I know, I'd literally. I just have like a thing where like we're comedians. Like I'll get your fucking back. We'll worry about everything else later. That's why all the infighting in comedy is so weird to me because I was like, these are people that like I have like a love for like comedy. I romanticize it. I'm like an old school New York comic. It's like we all fucking started in the same place. It doesn't matter what our background is, and everyone's become so like political and they pin themselves to like sort of ideology, and that's sort of their identity. And my identity is being a comedian and a creator, and like I just kind of feel like that should be more important than anything else. But that guy, there was a guy with the afro who I was blackout drunk that night, and I was like, I had a brand new girlfriend at the time. We broke up, but she was like for the first time coming to Austin with me, and she's so pumped. She's a big comedy fan. Obviously, that's the only way I get hot chicks is by their fans. I'm a creep, and so we were at the creek. And this guy, I guess he was at Kill Tony, like in that bar earlier. There was like two videos from that night. Like he got like jumped in the bar because he was like talking shit to people. He was fucked up. He was on like mushrooms and all this other shit. Oh, no. And then he comes to the creek and he starts heckling somebody on stage. And I watch Rebecca go, like, get him out of there. He's got to go, right? Mm-hmm. And then the security's taking him out. He's like, yo, fuck you. And then Rebecca's like, you got to leave. He's like, fuck you, bitch, or something like that. And he's talking to Rebecca. Rebecca's like my girl. Yeah. And he's like, I'll fuck up anybody in this place. And I was like, yeah, motherfucker, you'll fuck me up. He's like, meet me outside. And I was like, let's go. I'm hammered. I'm like literally, it's so embarrassing. The whole thing is embarrassing. And I go outside. I'm expecting him to be walking up the street because I'm bigger than him. He was like a skinny guy. I expected him to be walking up the street, like leaving. He's in a fucking karate stance already. He's like ready. He's ready to go, dude. He's in a ninja stance. And then I go out and he throws like a leg kick. The first one kind of hits me. The second one I check, And then he's like, oh, you know how to fight? You know how to fight? And I was like, yeah, I know how to fight. What's up, mother? I'm just being an idiot. And then he starts walking away from me. And then I'm realizing like people are filming me. There's a crowd of people. And I was like, do I hit this guy in the back of his head? I was like, no, I can't do that. And then we just started, we're just chimping out. We're just like fucking, I'm like, oh. And he's like, oh. And they're filming it. And it's fucking Chud the Builder's right. The point of all this is that Chud's right. And free Chud. We got to get him out. Guys, donate to Chud's Pump Fund. And that's really it. Yeah. Yeah, put the link in the notes. Donate to Chud because he was right. I am pretty prone to chimping out.
Yeah. When was your first fight ever?
My first,
like the first time you fought anybody?
In first grade.
First grade? Wow.
First grade.
That's funny.
Jay Mendoza.
What happened?
Jay Mendoza was another big kid. So we would play with Legos, right?
Yep.
There'd be playtimes the first grade. It's half just playing. And what you would do is you'd be building a spaceship or a truck or whatever it is. And at the end of that playtime, you're supposed to break it apart, put all the Legos back in the bucket.
Right.
And then, you start the next day. But I wasn't done with my spaceship. So what you would do is you would take your half-built thing, and there was like a shelf or whatever, and you would hide it behind the shelf for the next day so you can continue, right? And he knew this. We all knew this. So I put my fucking spaceship there. This kid grabs the spaceship and breaks it apart and starts putting it in the bucket. And I just saw red, dude. I tackled him to the ground. We start rolling around. And that was my first fight. We got sent to the principal's office. And I remember he was crying in the principal's office. And I wanted to cry, but I was like, I'm not going to cry.
And it's so funny to hear you describe your most recent incident and your first incident in the exact same way, where it's just like, no, this was totally justified. So like basically the Legos were like back here.
No, this was completely justified. I was embarrassed about the most recent incident. This was a completely justified chimping out. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna fucking take my fucking Legos apart, you piece of shit. It's not your job, you fucking rat dog piece of shit. I hope he's watching this right now.
Yeah.
I'll fuck him up, dude. Give me the excuse.
I love that. My dad's was from New York. He passed away.
You have a dad?
He's
dead.
All right,
all right. Now it's making sense. Good.
But he was from New York, and he got in a lot of fights too when he was a kid. But I've never been in a fight.
No?
Never.
No, there's never just some jealous chick being like, fuck you, bitch. My boyfriend's looking at you and nothing?
Well, people have been mean, like verbally, but no one's ever attacked me.
Yeah.
So then I'm like,
good.
I don't even know what I would do.
Have you been in a fight, dude? Yeah, of course. He's like, yeah, I'm badass. You're pretty sick. He literally said this. That was crazy. Hell yeah.
I did have to chimp out on a guy at the pool the other day with her.
Oh, really?
It was kind of hot though.
Why? What did he do? Was he looking at your girl? Saying some shit?
He was literally just like closing in on her in the pool. And she was like with her friend. And he like...
Your friend, is she hot?
Very, yeah.
Ooh, where's your friend?
I don't know.
You offer me snacks, but not your friend?
She's a
Nice. What's her name?
Her name is Katie Carter.
Katie Carter.
She was just on the pod recently.
Nice.
Very pretty.
I'm going to look her up. What's up, Katie Carter?
I was also kind of drunk, and this guy had a Detroit Lions hat on backwards in the pool.
Yeah.
And he was like just got like a little too close to them and was like, they were just talking to each other, but he was doing the thing where he's like responding. They're just talking to each other, and he's like, oh yeah, no way. And then I just like had like 8 beers, and I just start going, hey, Detroit.
Nice.
And then,
very condescending, calling somebody by their hometown.
Yeah.
Tell me if this is where it gets a little gay for me. Eventually, I just like verbally dismantle the situation. I'm just like, dude, you obviously like live at this apartment. You're just drunk by yourself at the pool. Nobody knows you. Just leave these girls alone.
Yeah, of course.
And eventually, I started like, go away. Go sit by yourself. And then he did, and he went to sit by himself. And then I felt bad.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I felt like real guilt. And I
Yeah,
just
dude.
saw this like.
You just wanted friends, dude.
Yeah, I just saw.
Poor guy. You could have hooked him up with your friend.
I just saw like this just grown man just sitting by himself, and I was like, why do I feel bad now?
He's shooting his shot. Look, it's not really disrespectful to shoot your shot. If you know that the girl's boyfriend's there, then it becomes, it's not even about you.
Yeah.
This is like a thing like I've been walking down the street with like a girl that's just like a friend, right? And if some guy starts hitting on her, it's like, well, it has nothing to do with her. It doesn't matter that she's not my girlfriend. You don't know. You think I'm a bitch, and you think I'm going to be that bitch. So now I have to fucking have an incident. So
definitely crossed a line where like he was like her and her friend were like in a group with like me and a couple other comics. He kind of like edged us out. Like he was like putting his like back to us.
So you're saying this guy's a real ass dude?
Yeah, he was a real ass dude, just like blacked out at 1 p.m. at his own apartment pool.
Yeah, of course.
Pretty real.
Yeah, I don't know. It was. I thought
She
it was
did.
funny. Yeah.
She liked the attention. She liked you chimping out. It was
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
It was a
yeah.
great moment for you.
Yeah,
You're like,
I
this is
felt like-
awesome. You felt seen.
I felt seen and like protected. I was
Yeah,
like, that's
good.
nice. I don't know. But I was gonna ask you too. When you said you were in bands, what did you do? Were you a singer? Were you
No.
play
Are you listening to my
instruments?
voice? I can barely speak. I've been singing this whole podcast. This is my singing voice, actually. No, I was a drummer. I was a drummer.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
I played drums for years, very poorly. I wasn't a very good drummer. But I was in a band that like got some like mild success locally.
Oh, okay.
And I was always a good promoter. I was always like good at getting people to come out to shows. So we used to have like much more famous bands open up for us. So like Kait and Cambria opened up for us a few times. And they before they blew up, they were called Shibuti, and I was very close with those guys. I still talk to them to this day.
Nice.
But like we had like a lot of hardcore bands, Sworn Enemy, E-Town Concrete. They would like come out and we would like, headline these shows, even though we were like just teenagers. We weren't very good, but it was all our fans there.
Wow.
So we had some cool, just moments, kind of
Yeah.
fun time. Part of my identity as like a teenager, it was like kind of like, everything. It was just being a performer and being a part of that scene.
What's your like? What kind of music do you like, or what are your favorite bands?
I don't really like music anymore.
No.
I really don't. I mean, something I don't like. I when I work out, like I used to listen. I don't listen to music. I free ball it completely when I work
Wow.
out now. If I'm doing cardio, I'll listen to some music
Okay.
sometimes. But honestly, it's usually audiobooks when I'm like, even if I'm running
okay.
and doing cardio. But I mean, like, really no new music at all. Like it's all. I was a
Yeah.
big metalhead growing up. And into like kind of just like weirder stuff. Like I was a huge like System of a Down fan. I saw
love
them
System of a
recently. Yeah.
Down. So
I saw
good.
them probably 10 times live.
Wow.
They were. I just saw them again, but I saw them with like less than 1,000 people in the crowd at Birch Hill
Yeah.
nightclub. They were great. They were awesome. Yeah, they're a little different. Like Daryl, the guitarist, or Darren rather, he takes the kind of takes the lead. Like
Okay.
and Serge is kind of in the background. He sings the songs, but like Darren's like communicating with the crowd and sort of like the front man. It feels like.
Nice.
But yeah, they were like my favorite band for a really long time. And I've just been to a lot of concerts. I've been to like I went to Ozfest for years and years and years. So I saw
cool.
like just a lot of bands, and I always had kind of an eclectic taste. Like I mean I did. I've seen Tool live a few times, but I don't like love Tool.
I love
like
Tool.
I like Tool's music recorded more than I like it live.
Oh, really? Okay.
They were good live, but it
Yeah.
was just a little bit like I saw Nine Inch Nails live
Cool.
recently, and that's the best live show I've ever seen.
Really?
I was a big like Marilyn Manson fan. I used to have like long hair and I used to dye it. I used to wear eyeliner in high school. Like I was yeah. People think I'm like a meathead. Like I was like the big kind of like tougher like faggot out of my like in my school. Like there was like a bunch of fags in my school. I was one of them,
Yeah.
but I was like the one that like if people would fuck with my friends, I'd fight them.
Okay.
So like, but yeah, I wasn't like people think that I'm more like sort of like the Joe Rogan, like that sort of like under that umbrella of that type of dude.
Yeah.
But it's like no, I was much more connected with like the kind of the dweeby kids. I was in musical theater in high school,
cool.
and so I was. But yeah, music was a big part of my identity for a long time. I don't have time to like download new music, and I always have stuff going on in my mind. Like I have really really bad ADHD.
Me too.
So like I feel like when I'm just sitting there listening to music, even when I drive, like my son's like, Dad, let's put on a song. I'm like, no. There's
Yeah.
lights. There's other cars right now. I'm with my thoughts. I can't like.
I get that.
Yeah. So it's weird. I don't really listen to a lot of music, but
Yeah, I'm starting to actually listen to a lot less lately. I feel like when I started comedy, I used to really look forward to like going to live shows and stuff.
yeah.
Now
And it's
just,
weird
like,
when you watch
going to
people live now. You're like, I should be on stage. What am I doing?
Yeah,
they're-
that's so true.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like I have a hard time enjoying other people like living their dreams. I'm like, well, I'm a
Yeah.
fucking loser. I'm watching another man live his dream. This is the gayest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Or when
It's psychotic. It's not the right way to be, but
No,
or
I
you
get
see like a
that.
musician try to like riff in between songs.
yeah.
You're like,
Play your music, you hack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
so bad.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
I wanted you to ask about Story Warz. Story Warz is
Yeah.
the shit.
Thanks,
We
man.
We
love
love
it.
that. Like,
I appreciate it.
There,
How did
there
you-
was the poker show that Nadav runs.
Yeah,
You've
of
been on
course.
it.
Yeah, I did it once. Yeah.
I was on it with Dedrick, and he started talking about his episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, I don't know if that's come out yet. And then like
Nice.
I got like people in the comments are like, Phil just earned a fan for respecting the integrity of Story
Hell yeah,
Warz.
dude.
There are
Hell
people,
yeah.
people in the comments
Yeah.
like of the fold were like really glad that he said something about Story Warz. People love Story Warz.
Yeah, people play along, right? So
Yeah.
what I came up with the concept. It was a bit on Legion of Skanks, and we called it "Whose Story Is It Anyway?" And we
Okay.
just like the producers were like, we should do 2 truths and a lie, and I was like, no, let's fucking do something a little more unique. Let's do our
Yeah.
own spin, and that's where we sort of conceptualized it, and then. We did it a few times, and I was like, "This could be its own show." I was like, we would do a few rounds, and I was like, "This could just be a show." And then we sort of like naturally turned into that, and I came up with the name Story Warz, and the rest was history. But I think why people like it, it's like number one, most podcasts are just people sitting around talking about the same thing, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's always the same news stories, the same bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Not this one. This is a good one.
Oh, thank you.
But this is different. This is very different. But I think that our comedians, they're not that engaging on podcasts. They're all sort of doing everyone's podcasts, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of like. And what happens is with Story Warz, because there's an element of competition, the comedians very quickly snap into this thing where they're like, yo, I want to fucking win. By story 2, like everyone gets it. Like
Yeah.
even if you're new to the show and you're like, no, I want to win. And you're projecting an energy onto the audience. So the audience feels it. They go, oh, these guys actually care. And we always have really funny comedians on. It's designed, it is designed like, it's just the show itself is setups. And
Yeah.
then the comedians get to just punch. And as opposed to one comedian trying to set up, leading, narrating, then the other guy tries, it's a weird clunky thing that when you look at like kind of what, if you were to remove yourself from it and kind of look what's going on between the interactions with people, it's like, it can be clunky. You have to worry about dynamic. You have to worry about all these other things. This show, and it's the only one like it, is designed where everyone gets to really look good. And everyone gets to kind of like hit punchlines in a different way. You kind of wait for your like moments.
Yeah.
And it's just natural. So, and then it has like a turnover thing as well. So like there's a new story every few minutes. So it's like you kind of you're staying on the edge of your seat. You're like, oh, another one. Kill Tony has a similar thing where it's like the next bucket pull. You're like, there's like a turn.
Yeah.
And it's like you're turning another page and you're like, oh, I'm excited about this next page. And most podcasts, it's kind of, once again, just a little clunky and you go from topic to topic or whatever. But the format itself, it keeps it very on point. People get to play along. They get to, they sit at home doing their own scorecards, and we're trying to do a home app as well where people
cool.
can play with each other. I'm testing it today actually.
That's awesome.
And but they can play along the app. You can play along with the show, or you can play with your friends. You just type in your own stories, and I think we kind of struck gold, and it's
think so.
blowing up, and people seem to really like it.
It's so
I was
good.
hanging out with Tony last night. He was like, "You are the only other show that is gonna blow up like this. It's brilliant." Yeah, he loves it. He does it. He said the same thing. He was like, "I don't do other people's podcasts."
Yeah.
We had 2 on Thursday. Yeah. We had 2 on Thursday. If anytime you guys want to come, I'll get you guys tickets. You guys don't
Okay.
have to. I don't know the how the mothership works. If you guys could just walk in, but I'm assuming not.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, it's always like so. But yeah, I got you guys. Yeah, exactly. You have to retinal scan to get in.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I'm very proud of it, and I
Yeah.
think it has mass appeal. And
Definitely.
We went last time you were at the mothership.
Oh,
We
hell
had
yeah.
Shane,
so fun.
DeRosa, and I think
the
Red
vile,
Man or something.
vile horrendous. No, it was Shane DeRosa and McCusker.
McCusker, yeah.
Yeah.
The Vile Horrendous, yeah. No,
That
his
was
Vile
fun.
Horrendous.
That's now
Yeah,
the
yeah.
name of his podcast.
Yeah, I
on
know.
Live
I know.
Edge,
Yeah, he was on it again this time. We had. So now when we come to here, we go to festivals. We've been doing guest narrators as well. So they actually read the stories. So Tony did a guest narrator
Oh, cool.
role on one of the ones we did, which was fun.
I love that.
Ari did it in L.A. We were set next.
Stop spoiling the show.
Oh yeah, I better stop.
What,
Yeah,
what the fuck are you doing?
I am spoiling the show.
This is my whole like,
But
claim to
now
fame is-
we're like 8 weeks out. Like the episodes we record come out like in 2 months.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we have too many. I'm gonna literally tell Jay, I was like, let's take a month off. We have too many in the can at this point
Yeah.
because we do a festival and we do 4 in a week or 2 or 3 in a week, and it's like we just did 2 on Thursday. So
gosh.
now we're so far ahead. Like these episodes aren't coming out until like August.
Oh wow.
No, it is. It's nice. Then you're taking off. You don't have to freak out. And like we
You
try
go
to be
on
consistent.
vacation?
Yeah, I am. I'm going in July. I'm going to Mexico. So
Ooh, nice.
and then I'm bringing my son to Spain in August. So
Well, we're in
maybe.
Spain.
I don't know yet.
I've been to Madrid and I liked it a lot.
You know, people love Spain. I was going to bring them to Japan, but it's just such a big trip.
Yeah,
I'm
I've never
just
been to
too busy.
Japan.
Yeah, me
but
neither.
Seems nice.
Yeah, I do a father-son trip every year, just me and him.
Oh,
I'm a really
that.
good dad anyway.
Yeah, I love
Anyway, it's
it.
not even a big deal.
You're a good guy, very determined, and I admire your work ethic a lot.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
it's really cool. And honestly, I still can't even believe you're here. Like, thank you so much for coming.
Of
on
course,
this
no.
tiny
And I am just fucking
podcast.
around. I did know that your boyfriend was the producer
Okay.
of the show. Yeah. Somebody told me that. I was like, because I was complaining about it all week. I was like, hey, you do this girl's podcast? I shouldn't have said yes. Why did I agree to do this? Because you asked me a few times, and then I keep on pushing it off. And then I was like, I can't push it off again. That's fucked up. So, and
Well,
then
if you would have, I would have understood.
No. No. I look, once in a while, I do come down from the podcasting mountains.
Yeah.
And bless people. No, I'm fucking around. You're great. It's a great show.
Thank you so much.
You seem to be very well liked. People like you, and
Thanks.
yeah. Keep on fucking doing your thing.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to plug? I guess.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, no. Yeah, go to Gas Digital, subscribe. You know, it's uncensored, ad-free comedy. It's the best way to enjoy the shows we do. Story Warz comes out 4 days before it goes to YouTube. Legion of Skanks comes out 4 days before it goes to YouTube.
Nice.
And you get the real version of the show. All the shit that we have to edit out for YouTube, you get to watch. And Skankfest. There's still single day passes, so you can come to Skankfest. Have you guys been to Skankfest yet?
I've never been. I want
You guys
to.
should come. You really should. Did you guys submit?
I didn't this year because I didn't have enough of. I was scared to submit my thing. I was like, I don't think it's good enough. But next year.
I talk to Rebecca all the time, and like we know
Yeah.
like, the
No.
tapes that she sifts through and stuff. And it's
No, she watches every tape. I'll
Yep.
give you the advice. Make sure your first joke fucking kills.
Okay.
Make sure your audio is awesome.
Okay.
Those are the two things. If your first joke bombs, you're getting 30 seconds. She's going to turn it off.
Okay.
Make sure the audio is great. Everyone's cell phone camera is good enough at this point with video, but make sure the audio is good. If you can get like a feed through the board,
we have our show at Creek that we film.
and you film it, and
so,
just
like, we
audio
have
through the board and
audio,
mix it.
Yeah.
If you just make sure your first joke quick into that first laugh. Don't do a long story to start off.
Okay.
Quick laughs, right?
Nice.
Great audio. It'll put you ahead of 90% of the people submitting right away, because it's annoying to listen to shitty audio. It's just like, you roll your eyes. It becomes very monotonous, like or monotone rather. So yeah, that would be that. But you guys should come if you guys want to come hang out this year. Obviously, I'll get you guys tickets. You guys will you'll love it. It's the most fun you'll ever have. Like everyone's there. It's really fun. Skankfest is like the thing that I'm most proud, besides my son, like that I've like created. That like it's really like it's very, very special. So you guys you'd love it.
I would love to. That'd be really fun.
Hell yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Lewis.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's actually not that bad of a drive from here.
No, I hear you. I didn't know you could drive from Texas, but people are saying it's only a few hours.
7 hours.
Yes.
Not bad. 6, 7.
Like 7, 8.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys are the best. I appreciate it.